Valentine's is coming. Valentine's is coming. Valentine's is coming. Where's your boyfriend? Hi guys, welcome to Insight. It's your girl Debbie again. Unfortunately this video Susie's not in it. I know we've done a couple of videos when we're by ourselves. The reason is because I live in London and Susie lives in Surrey, so sometimes it can be a bit tricky trying to match our schedule so that we can get together and do a video, but we try to not let that stop us from actually doing some videos or just giving you guys content. So the topic for today, or the topic for this video, is Valentine's Day. So we're going to talk a little bit about if you're single or if you're in a relationship, how can you maneuver yourself through this love holiday. So some people take Valentine's quite seriously. Some people don't think that Valentine's is such a huge deal. So it doesn't mean that one is right and the other one is wrong. It just means that we all have a different opinion. So we're going to start off with my single people. So if you are not in a relationship, and sometimes people think or have this perception, not everyone but sometimes, that single people are miserable or sad on this day. Well, actually that's not true. There are some people who are just content on this day, and they don't really think that much of a big deal of Valentine's, or even if they do, they're just content with where they are in life. But sometimes you find people on Valentine's Day who are single have this feeling that, why don't I have someone, just that kind of miserable about being alone and not having anyone. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips of what to consider just for my single people on Valentine's Day. So for one, think about all the advantages of being alone, of being by yourself. Think about all the friends or all the people that you know that are in relationships that don't get to have like some sense of freedom, and all the hassle that they go through in relationships, and actually think about what are the good reasons as to why I'm single right now. How can I really maximize the time that I have by myself? Because before you know it, you probably in the next, I don't know, couple of months or not so long, you probably meet someone, and then some of the things that you probably would have been able to do by yourself, you can't really do as much. Not that you completely lose your freedom when you're in a relationship, but sometimes you can just maneuver easily when you're by yourself. So another thing is Valentine's Day is not necessarily just for romantic relationships. So if you are single, and actually this is not just for the single people, this is for everyone, on Valentine's Days, make it about someone else or other people who are really close to you. So thinking about close friends, family, where what can you do for someone else just to appreciate that person and show that person that you love them. And actually we know that from research that when we actually do something for someone else, or we go out of our way to do something that will put a smile on someone else's face, that does give us that sense of fulfillment, and it gives us a sense of satisfaction as well. And also think about maybe spending time with some people, it could be your friends, your family, just to have that social gathering. So final tip for my single people is pamper yourself for the day. Buy yourself something nice, do something nice for yourself. Go home. For my ladies who like to be in the tub, just like get some candles and just have a bath and listen to some nice music. Whatever it is for you that makes you feel relaxed. It doesn't have to be necessarily a bath. It could be anything that kind of takes pressure and stress off of you. It could be reading, it could be Netflix. You can Netflix and chill by yourself. Literally, you don't have to do what the society thinks is norm, as in terms of relaxing. So find something that is relaxing for you and pampering for you. So moving on to if you are in a relationship, so I'm going to give some tips, not that many, but just things to remember or to consider. So tip number one, remember what Valentine's Day is not. So it's not a day where you can, where you get to test your partner's love or how much they love you. Remember, reality versus expectation, which is actually, my expectations, are they real or realistic based on, your own opinions about Valentine's Day. So it's good for us to actually remember that it's not a day where we get to test our partners or test your partner to see, does he know you, or is he going to read my mind to know exactly what I want, or is she going to read my mind to know exactly what I want. So Valentine's Day is not a day to test your partner. So tip number 2, keep communication open. So going back to those expectations, if you are expecting your partner to do something for you, it's better to communicate that gently to your partner, because we sometimes expect people to read our minds and know exactly what we want, when actually that's really, really difficult. So we need to be able to have that level of open communication with our partners, to be able to communicate what exactly you would like or what you would prefer to happen on Valentine's Day. So tip number 3, use this day to strengthen your relationship. So perhaps think about, reflecting on what makes your partner so special. It is a day of love. How can you appreciate that person? Maybe it could be, finding words to describe that person and just putting that on a card, or putting that on a text or something, just to show that person how much you appreciate them. But also I think the key thing is also thinking about, when it comes to showing that person that you love them, is also thinking about love language. So we all have different love languages. So there's 5 love languages, and if you haven't read that book, I really recommend you to read it if you are in a relationship. Actually, even if you're not in a relationship, because this goes beyond just any romantic relationships. It can be with friends, it can be with family. So learning other people's love languages. So figure out what your partner's love language is, because I think the mistake that sometimes people make is, you love someone in the way that you want to be loved, and the other person probably doesn't receive that in the same way that you would receive that if you got the same. So figure out what your partner's love language is, and express that. And even if you're thinking about buying, showing them how you love them this Valentine's Day, it doesn't have to be a gift. If they don't really receive gift so much as a language of love, if it's quality time, spend some quality time with that person. If it's words of affirmation, write some good things about that person. Tell them how much you love them, affirm them. If it's acts of service, do something, go out of your way to do something for them. So figure out what your partner's love language is and just show them, just to strengthen your relationship. So guys, that's it for me. Just a few tips that I wanted to share that I thought that would possibly be helpful to someone or some people out there on Valentine's Day. So let's have a good day, whatever you're doing, whether you're loving yourself or whether you're appreciating someone else, or whether you're in a relationship and having a good time with your partner. Have a good time on Valentine's Day. Just as usual, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. So thanks for watching, guys.